Okay. Hi, people. So, I don't know if you guys saw my other video where I was talking about the concept that sometimes when we become obsessed with somebody, and it really doesn't make any sense why we're obsessed with them, like, even our energies don't really kind of match. You can just, like, if you were to sit down and write down, like, a logical list, it just doesn't make sense. Why am I obsessed with this person? And you're willing to take a look at yourself and a pattern, you might find that it's actually not the person you're obsessed with. It's the version of you that you can see yourself becoming when you're with them. So then I started analyzing, my brain. I started analyzing, well, why would the version I created of them in my head? Because I obviously know, I'm aware that it's just a story I've made up, because I don't really know the person well enough to say for sure, right? Because a lot of times we make these stories up long before we get to know the person on a very deep level. So I'm like, okay, logically this makes no sense. Why am I obsessed? And why do I feel like, or why do I think that they will be a person that will let me be somebody I like so much, right? And then that brought me to other questions. It was like, okay, so other people, because I haven't actually had a lot of crushes in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was one of those weird kids. Even growing up, I just never understood it. Maybe it's the neurodivergence, but like, I never dated in high school. I mean, I felt like they were like rotating partners, right? And by the time high school was over, everyone had basically kissed everybody or made out with everybody, or it's just like, I did not want to be a part of that circle jerk. Like an extended long, whatever. That's just my view. That's how I saw it in high school, so I didn't participate. Yeah, and I could tell everyone was just playing, right? They were all just playing house. No one really knew what they wanted. And because I was like the advice giver, a lot of people came to me with their problems, so I knew way more about what was going on behind the scenes than I really wanted to know. Oh my god, drama. If you ever want a soap opera, just talk to a bunch of high school kids. Just a lot of wasted energy when you think about it. But then again, they learn from their parents, who learn from their parents, etc., etc. Anyways, so I was doing this thing where I went back, because like I said, I haven't had many crushes, or I guess you want to call them like boy obsessions or whatever. So it was easy for me in my mind to go through all these different times in my life where I actually found myself fixated on another person, and kind of go through how I saw myself with them, so I could start finding the correlations. Yeah, I know, I'm a super nerd. I'm correlating the versions of myself over the decades in the different crushes I've had of different men, to see the ones, like the parts of me that I enjoyed the most in each version of myself I imagined happening. Yeah, I did that. And I'm starting to really realize, it's actually a great exercise. If you can do that, if you can go back and think of all the times that you were deeply fixated on someone, or you thought that they were your person, or whatever, it was just a crush, right? Like, you just had a big crush on somebody, and you just couldn't help it. Now, I have been hearing this silly rumor. I don't think it's true, but it's possible, I guess. Everyone's different, though. Keep that in mind. But I keep hearing this silly rumor that if it lasts more than 4 months, it's love. Is it love? Or is it just an obsession that's never going to go away? Like, I'm forever going to love sour candy. That's just never going to go away. I even like lasagna, even that hurts my tummy. I love lasagna. It's just the wheat noodles. Spelt is better, by the way. Spelt is a great flour. It's a lot more water soluble and has a higher protein, and it's got more B vitamins. It's good for you. And it hasn't been genetically modified. It's an ancient grain. Just gonna throw that out there. Sorry. Yeah. Out of curiosity, before I drop the whole weed thing, look up the extra alleles that are in the genetic DNA of the genetically modified grain that we have in North America now, that is the predominant grain because it all crossbreeds, and see how it affects our human bodies. Just do that for yourself one day. Don't worry, I still eat it. I'm just saying, research it. Decide for yourself. Anyway, back to my thing. If you get a chance to do that. Go through your memories of the different fantasies or dreams or whatever versions of yourself that you had when you had a crush, or your other crushes. And maybe don't do all your crushes. I mean, like I said, I haven't had that many. I can literally count probably on one hand the amount of times I've genuinely found myself crushing on somebody. I think that says a lot about me. I'm really picky. Just am. Anyways, so yeah, do that. It's a fun exercise. So I'm learning, I'm not going to tell you what I'm learning about myself. It's personal. Don't be nosy. Jeez. But I am discovering a lot about the parts of me that haven't really had a chance to be expressed yet, because I had to keep them hidden for so long. I mean, honestly, I started hiding me from the time I was about 2.5, 3. I guess that's when the abuse really started. So, yeah, I started hiding me then, and it's never stopped. This will be like year 1 that I get to be truly, honestly free. It's kind of fun. So I'm going to learn a lot about myself. So these are good exercises. If you're like me and you spent a lot of your childhood in abuse and then are coming out of abusive relationships now with the awareness of what they really are and how they were affecting you, and you feel like you're healed most of it, you're going to really need to start self-exploring. It's really important we get to know ourselves, because the more we can understand ourselves, the better our discernment's going to be, which will increase our ability to use energy. And I mean, energy's always there, ready for us, as long as we know how to use our discernment to know we're using it correctly. I mean, correctly is not the right word. Using it for our highest good. Let's just say that. There's too many variations of words out there that could be misconstrued. At least that one, my intention is there. So, that was my story for the morning. I thought I'd share that with you. It was really interesting for me. I highly recommend you guys checking yourselves out that way, because you're going to start to realize, here's something even more interesting. Once I started really getting a grasp on who I am, like the parts of me that excite me, right? The parts of me that I like to be, I started to really understand the kind of partner I would want to be with. It makes a whole world of difference, people. A whole world of difference. Because now it's not me picking a person because of how they make me feel like I'm going to be. It's going to be me picking a person because they match the energy I already want to be, or I already am. Yeah, it's a win. Anyways, have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.